Hey everybody, it's me again, Amy from A Farmish Kind of Life, and you can see those little kittens back there playing on our little go-kart there, whatever you want to call it. I'm here with another random thought, and so today I was thinking about this quote that I have written on the window by my desk, and it says, "You will go where you look, so don't look down." And it got me thinking about how focus is so important, our mindset is so important, and so it got me thinking about how there are people right now who really want to focus on the chaos. They want to focus on all the bad, and they want to focus on all the negative, and they want to focus on what's wrong. And I feel like when I was reading that quote, I was like, wait a second. When all you do is focus on that, if that's what you look at, if you look at the bad, if you look at the chaos, if you look at what's wrong and what needs to be changed, like that's where you're going to go. You're going to see more of that. Like, that's what you're going to find. And I don't know, there's a law of attraction thing that says what you look for, that's what you're going to find. And it got me thinking about a long time ago. My dad was needed a new vehicle, a new used vehicle, and the vehicle he could find wasn't exactly what he wanted to buy, but it was what was available and what we could afford. And he worked in construction, and what he actually found was a minivan. And I think he was kind of like, I mean, this is many, many years ago, and so I think he was kind of like, I don't really want a minivan, like I want a truck, but he couldn't find a truck, and like, what are we going to do? And he ended up buying this minivan, and the crazy thing is I remember sitting at a restaurant and looking out the window after he just decided he was going to buy this minivan, and we couldn't believe all the minivans that we saw. We saw tons of minivans, right? Like all the time, like driving by, like in the parking lot, like there was all these minivans. And it's funny because when you start thinking like minivans, then you see them. You know what I'm saying? Like there wasn't all of a sudden an explosion of minivans. It's just that we hadn't been seeing them. It wasn't like in our radar. It wasn't like in our, our view. And so we hadn't noticed how many minivans there were out there. And so it makes me think about right now when we're looking at the bad, when we're looking for those posts on social media that fire us up, then that seems to be all we see. That seems to be all we can find, right? When we're not looking for that, are you looking for recipes? I mean, like, what are you looking for? And like, especially with like YouTube and Facebook and different things like that, they figure out what you're looking for and then they serve that to you, right? So, I mean, this is even totally a different thing with social media, but consider today as you go about your day, what am I looking for? What am I looking for? And am I calling that out into my field of view? Now, this is not, because this always comes up when I talk about this topic. People are like, oh, well, you're just going to ignore all the bad stuff that's going on out there. Like, we're not supposed to pay attention. No. That's not at all what I'm saying. I think you can have an eye on what's happening. You can have an eye on, this is the reality of our world right now, but you can make it not your total focus. Because as I've said before in podcast episodes and articles on my website, there's a lot of junk going on in the world, but you know what? The chickens still need to be fed. The kids still need to be fed. You still got to go out and harvest the stuff that's in the garden. There's all this stuff that needs to be done, all this stuff that's still going on while the world is kind of crumbly. So we can keep an eye on what's there, but if that's all we're looking for, that's all we're going to see. So today, pay attention to what you're looking at, because that's where you're going to go.